from the Brooks Houck trial. This is the trial for the murder of Crystal Rogers, and I just all of a sudden yesterday said, you know what, I'm coming. Because I feel like this case has gotten no attention, and it absolutely deserves a lot of attention. This is the disappearance and presumed death of a young mom of 5, just beautiful young woman in her 30s, and it's just absolutely crazy that there isn't more attention to this. So I really do feel like it needs it. The 2 people on trial right now, hey y'all, I see folks coming in, good to have you all. The two people on trial right now are Brooks Houck, who was Crystal Rogers' boyfriend at the time. They had a child together. She also had 4 other children from prior relationships. And then, in addition to those 4 children, they had 1 child just 2.5 years old together. And so Brooks Houck is accused of murder. Now, accused along with him of assisting and being an accomplice, covering up, that sort of thing, helping to dispose of evidence, is a man named who is worked for him, and whose name is Joey. They call him Joseph Lawson. Joey's dad has already been convicted. He was tried first, and he was convicted of assisting with the death of Crystal Rogers. Now, Crystal Rogers has never been heard from since July 3rd. Her car was found abandoned along the Bluegrass Parkway, her wallet sitting right there, her purse sitting right there, and 1 more or less flat tire in the rear. And that's it. That's all that anyone ever heard about her. So far, here's what we've had. And I'm going to be really brief. We're going to do a big unpacking tonight. You don't want to miss that, because we are going to be going into all of what happened today. The prosecution has been dropping bombshell after bombshell after bombshell. 2 really important points. We knew from the first trial of one of the Larsons, the dad, that there were 2 people in the Houck family who were still under investigation but haven't been charged. We now heard today that they are considered, the jury was told, they are co-conspirators. They have not been charged. And that is Brooks Houck's mother, Rosemary, and in addition to that, Brooks Houck's brother, Nick. So we'll be getting into all of that, but we have heard a lot about them today, and they aren't even on trial. They aren't even present in the courtroom. They're just not here, and all of a sudden. So in addition, so what I wanted to cover is just real briefly what we've had happen so far. So we've had the entire set of openings. There was about a 40-minute opening statement by the prosecution. Really good, really crisp. They had an older lawyer do it. He was just excellent. Cannot wait to see him do cross-examination. I guarantee you it's going to be good. And then we had a very lengthy opening statement from Brooks Houck's defense lawyer. It was a little too long, and I thought it was a little too technical. The jury seemed kind of to zone out a little bit with that. But he has a lot of evidence, especially around the cell phone. And most people I asked around, everybody's like, what was that cell phone thing he went into so much detail about? I think what he's saying is the prosecution is convinced that the cell phone proves that one of the Lawsons went to, it was the first one, the dad, went to Crystal Rogers' car, did something to it, and then immediately called Brooks Houck. So they're all tied in together. And they are going to say that that's not the case, that while it might have looked like Steve Lawson was headed to the car, really he was on this other road running parallel nearby. He wasn't even on Bluegrass Parkway where the car was found. So that's what we've had so far. Now, there is separate counsel for Joey Lawson, the son, and by son, I mean he's a full adult. He is paralyzed now. He's a paraplegic. He was not at the time all this occurred, but became that later, I think, in a car wreck. So anyway, Joey Joey has separate counsel, and they waived their opening statement. They reserved it, not waived it, reserved it, so they will do their opening statement. They'll have the full amount of time right before they start the defense case. So they reserved it, and they got kind of extra impact from that. Then we moved into the very first witness, and it was like if you were to pick the worst nightmare witness for you as a defense, it was this witness. It was terrible for the defense, but really good for the prosecution. So it was Crystal Rogers' oldest daughter. She's 23 now. She was 14 when all of this happened. It's been 10 years. And so she was just beautiful young girl wearing pink and white stripe and pink and white gingham sundress, and she cried most of the time as she talked about her mother and about going back to find her mother, and her mother wasn't there, and her mother wasn't answering her text messages, and how close they were, so how really strange and bizarre all of that was. So anyway, she was, if you're on the defense, I'll tell you, this is a tough witness, because she was very likable, beautiful, sweet, and very, very emotional. There was a lot of emotional impact to what she was saying. So that is pretty much a summary of where we are. We almost started another witness. They didn't even swear the witness in. It's going to be another family member, at least I think, but they decided to take a lunch break right away, I guess because it would be lengthy, and so they decided to come back to that later. So we will do, like I said, a full breakdown tonight of everything that happened today. So you will find out, what everybody argued, because like I say, the prosecution, I'll just give you one bombshell, okay? Because you're like, wait, what are the bombshells, Lee? Okay, here's one really big one that I thought was important, and that's that they have a recorded conversation, supposedly recorded by accident. I don't know how that happens. I'm really curious to learn more about this. But Brooks Houck, the brother, Nick, and the mother, Rosemary Houck, somehow accidentally recorded a conversation among themselves sitting at the table, in which Rosemary apparently says something about being worried that they're going to look at Nick Houck's car or patrol car, and that they're going to find a blanket, and made some comment about, and we haven't heard it yet, so that'll hopefully come later, but made some comment about how, what if one of her hairs is on this blanket? Now, in the defense opening statement, they said, well, all she was saying was everybody was out to get them, and what about if it's something as simple as a hair? Then how dare that, then they're going to immediately suspect us, and if they suspect us, then I'm worried about that. And it wasn't that she actually believed that there would be a hair. And according to the defense, there wasn't. All of that was just made up anyway. There were no hairs of Crystal Rogers in Nick's patrol car. So we will find out more about that as the trial progresses. But that was one really interesting thing, this recorded conversation that I think we will have. So, I'm trying to see if there's anything else. I think we'll cover everything else tonight. I just wanted to go live really quickly and give y'all a big update, just briefly, to kind of keep you posted. So I just suddenly decided, okay, I'm going to cover this. I got in the car and started driving. I don't know what possessed me, but I have been talking about this case for well over a year and been super interested in it the whole time, because it seems to me like it's such an important case. I mean, it's already had an Oxygen docu-series on it, lengthy one, like 6 episodes or something. It's really an important case for this region, and also I think just because of what it stands for, but it's been difficult to get coverage nationally. I think a lot of it has to do with some of the other cases that are going on right now during the course of this. And of course, by now, this is 10 years old, so it's difficult maybe to keep some of the momentum. But I do think it's awfully important. Now, there was a lot of interesting defense argument about the overzealous prosecutors and, more importantly, law enforcement, and how they fixated on Brooks Houck and would not let go. So we will explore all of that. Don't forget, tonight, it'll probably be 7 p.m., but not Eastern time. I've got to figure out where I'm going to stay. I don't even know what I'm doing. So I have to find a stable internet. I have to check in somewhere. So I don't know really exactly what time it'll be, but I'm going to aim for 7 p.m. probably Central Time, not Eastern Time. Obviously, it'll depend on how quickly I can get all that stuff done and also what time the court ends. So I will see y'all all tonight, and I look forward to it. I don't even know how to stop being live. Wow, I may be live for a while.